What's up, everybody? This is D from Brooklyn, and I'm here to talk to you about an ongoing project that you may have seen quite a few months ago. And this is the 5.5 gallon little shrimp tank that I have here. So let's take a look at it. Now, this is a special little tank. This is one that I have sitting down here in my window. And that's right, it is sitting in the window. One of the last places you would ever want to have a fish tank. But that's one of the special features of this little tank. 5 gallons. It has a little bit of plant oriented gravel in here, and it was meant to keep my special assortment of shrimp and dwarf fishes. One of the special dwarf fishes species that we have here today are gadeids. Some of the fry that I moved out from my primary breeding tank have been moved to this window tank, and the reason for this is to see how they progress, especially under natural sunlight. I try to breed my fish outdoors most of the time and to get them accustomed to certain little shifts in natural parameters like temperature and sunlight. This is currently being lit by window light. As you can see here, the sun is actually passed over, so this is not the brightest point in the day, but the fish and shrimp are really responding very well to these conditions. You can see I have some guppy grass in there, an assortment of artificial plants which people most of the time mistake for real plants, some Ratal in the back, as well as some Vallisneria that I have growing up. There was quite a bit of dieback to the val, but it's starting to come back now. And these are my special little guys here, if I can focus. My dwarf rainbow fish, which are really pretty. You can see I have even some grass shrimp in here, which they must think that it's feeding time because I'm sitting up here looking so closely at the fish tank. But you can see they get along pretty well. Got to pardon the glass. I didn't wipe it off this morning. The sun was so bright you couldn't even see the spotting on the glass. But that brings me to another very interesting point, is that this tank probably gets 12 to 14 hours of natural light per day, and you do not see any algae. I actually have not had to clean any algae from the tank, which is really fine point, because I have some tanks that are way out of the window's reach and they have enormous algae problems. So I'm not using any RO water or any special water, just regular tap water treated with conditioners. And I'm doing regular water changes of about 2 gallons, so pretty much almost half the tank volume gets removed on a weekly basis. But the tank's doing really good. Have a nice piece of driftwood in there, and it's very hard to tell, but I have the sponge filter going in the back and this little tiny shrimp filter which I got on Amazon. I'll probably post the link below, but I do not run it all day. I only run it when the tank lights come on, and that has a little itty bitty portion of carbon in there, as you can see right there in the little carbon bag, and it manages to keep the tank pretty clear. You can see there's no lights on and the tank is pretty much crystal clear. But the gadeids are looking really fine. They're coming along nicely. I'll put the actual variety of gadeid in the description below because I'm getting kind of old. I forget some of the Latin names and things, but I've been moving fry from tank to tank to see how they do, and they don't bother the shrimp, which is really interesting. I have some sun-kissed shrimp in here. I have cherry red in there somewhere, but I probably have about 3 or 4 sun-kissed shrimp in there. I have a couple of glass shrimp. As you can see, this guy loves the camera. He's always shooting down the front of the tank. And I'm feeding them on Tetramin flakes. Once in a while, I give them some Cyclopes, which is very small and just enough for the gadeids, which are still kind of like in their fry stage, to consume and put some growth on them. They're growing pretty fast because this guy was really tiny last week. I put him in there. He's doing pretty well. And it's just a testament to good water changes and Simple, just keeping it simple. No complex equipment. The tank sits at about 78 degrees, which is high because I was running it much lower. I was not heating this tank for some time, so I kept the tank at 72, which didn't seem to bother the Gaidaeans at all. I actually like it lower for the shrimp. I don't like the temperature to get that high. One of the other things that I almost skipped over is these freshwater clams that I picked up at the last Brooklyn Aquarium Society auction, which have actually moved. This guy on the right was sitting over here in the corner, and I moved him out, and he seemed to have moved over to, I guess, be with his buddy, which you can see is open right now. First time, not the first time, but maybe the third time that I tried keeping clams. I've never been able to keep track of them. This time they're actually moved themselves to the front, and you can see this guy is open, and they're known to be very good water filterers, filtering little part of what is it, precipitate or things that are in the water column. And they seem to be doing a good job. Tank's really clean and everything's looking good. If you're breeding any fish or keeping anything similar to the Gaidaeans, which are a care species, which is a pretty endangered species, post it in the comments below. I'd love to see videos about it and see what you're doing to keep your species, going. I have a mode and motto: keep it simple, stupid, the KISS method. And this is probably the best example of that. So I thought I'd share it with you. Gonna have some more talks to come on some very similar tanks, trying to keep them really simple and get away from the complexities of 50 pieces of equipment and things of that nature. Because of course the tank is not about the equipment, it's about what's in the tank. So until next time, this is D. Thank you for watching. If you like this kind of content and look for things similar, click that like button. I always appreciate it. And subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Till next time, this is D signing out. Look at this guy. Look how he's eating on that wood. All right, everybody. Time to feed the fishes. See ya.